Welcome to the Flight Club Podcast, a woman's guide to leaning out. We give you a behind-the-scenes look at business launch and growth through the stories of successful female entrepreneurs. Here's your host, Felina Hansen, founder and CEO of Hera Hub.
Hello and welcome. I am excited to share my conversation today with Lynn Fulks. She is the president and co-founder of Upstart Group, which works with clients as an acting chief marketing officer or CMO to understand their long-term strategic objectives as well as short-term annual business and sales goals, also working on developing marketing strategies, of course, to meet those goals. She builds strong marketing foundations that include product management and marketing communication strategies, all in the name of driving growth. And Lynn drives for results. Her drive for results is matched only by the strength of the personal connection she forges with her clients, making her a valued member of their management team. Welcome to the show today, Lynn.
Oh, Felina, thank you so much for the invitation.
Absolutely. I'm excited to share your career path, your story, how you launched your business, and then, of course, we'll get into your business. So first off, take us back.
Well, I'm from Texas, and I originally had planned in college to be a veterinarian, but got sidetracked for a little while, married the wrong man, but that launched me into technology marketing, which has been fascinating. I was lucky enough to work for one of the very first laser printer companies, and then the very first third-party Windows application software company, after which Microsoft recruited me. So I had a great tenure at Microsoft. I learned so much. Wow, what super sharp people. And you know, Felina, with your background in marketing, that when you're in marketing, you work at really high level. So I was fortunate enough to work with both Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer, along with all the other great leaders there at Microsoft.
Wow.
My husband and I, he was working for one of Paul Allen's startups at the time, and we got to a point in our lives where we needed a break because at that time, 60-hour weeks were the norm and 80 hours before software shipped. So we decided to take a break and moved down here to Southern California from Seattle to get some sunshine. And I had always wanted to go sailing, so I talked him into taking sailing lessons, and we ended up, it was supposed to be a 2-year trip around the Caribbean on our sailboat, and it was so much fun. We ended up almost 7 years on our sailboat in the Caribbean. So fantastic. I highly recommend it to anybody.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that about you, Lynn. That is, wow.
Oh.
I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you. It was just super fun. And we came back, our financial planner called us while we were in Panama in 2008. And we're like, oh, gee, our poor little portfolio. So, it was supposed to be only a 2-year trip. So we came back to go back to work. And I'm thinking, man, after 7 years on the sailboat and owning my own time, I'm not sure I'm ready for the 8 to 5 again. And, one of my best friends who I had met and worked with very closely at Microsoft, Sue Sanford, she and I decided to start our consulting business.
Yeah, I can definitely understand not wanting to go back to the corporate grind after being on a sailboat for 7 years. So I want to pause on a couple things you said before we launch into Upstart Group and what you do and who you serve and all that good stuff. You briefly mentioned something, and I know there's probably a little more to the story. You said you married the wrong guy and you went from wanting to be a veterinarian to technology. That it seems a bit of a jump. Did you just happen to land a job, or was there something that piqued your interest into getting into technology? Because that's quite a different career path.
Right. So he was working offshore on the oil rigs, and so he would be gone 1 to 2 weeks and then home for 1 to 2 weeks. So while he was offshore, I signed up with Norrell and Kelly Temporary Services because I didn't want the full-time job because I wanted to be with him, when he was on shore. And one of them placed me as the marketing receptionist at the laser printer company. Well, they offered me full time within 3 months as a marketing coordinator, and I took the position and then just started moving up through the marketing department from there, and then was recruited by the software firm, and then ultimately was recruited by Microsoft.
Wow. So that one choice to work, do some work for this temp agency launched you on, just an amazing career path. It's so interesting. Thank you for pausing on that for a moment and elaborating a bit. So you come back, you decide to opt out of going back to the corporate grind, and you say, I'm going to start my own business. What was that decision like? Was it an easy one? Was it a no-brainer? Were you nervous at all?
Well, it was easy, but in retrospect, so naive because Sue and I, the reason we started our business was to do great marketing work, enterprise level marketing work for small and medium business. And as you know, in reality, you've got to run a business, right? There's finance and employees and marketing and sales and contracts. And so, quickly within 6 months, we're like, whoa, my goodness, that's a lot. So we have definitely learned a lot along the way. And I don't know that we do anything I don't know that we'd make a different decision, but it would have been nice if we'd both been a little more well informed about what we were actually getting into running a business.
Sure. I hear that story quite a bit from folks. And it's like, wait a minute, there's all these other things that I have to worry about. And it's a bit new. And obviously you two have figured it out because you've been in business about 10 years now. So you must have a system down. I want to talk about your partnership with Sue. You said you worked with her at Microsoft. Is that correct?
Yes, we were the same level managers in corporate marketing when we met and moved up pretty much together in corporate marketing. And then at one point we decided, she and I were both senior managers in that department, and decided to decentralize corporate marketing and move the different groups into the product groups. So Sue took a group to enterprise marketing, channel marketing, and I took a group into operating system and platform marketing. So we have just kept close the whole time. In fact, my husband and I are godparents to their eldest daughter.
Wow, that's awesome. So I want to ask you a question about being in a business partnership, because I have seen over the course of my career lots and lots and lots of partnerships, business partnerships that didn't go well, that fell apart along the way for a variety of reasons. What would you say your secret sauce is, Lynn, with your partnership with Sue?
Well, we talk about this a lot. Our friendship is more important than the business, and we agreed from the very beginning that if there were business issues that threatened the friendship, we would close the business down. Mm-hmm. So our friendship comes first, and with that basis and trust and willingness to dig into whatever the issues are, we've managed.
Yeah. Wow. That is testament, because you don't see a lot of business partnerships lasting that long. So you must have a great communication system. And is there pieces of that Sue owns and then you own? And is there an understanding of, hey, this is my domain, that's your domain?
No, we pretty much, well, we each own certain pieces of the business, but we talk about everything and collaborate on everything. And we do have agreement that if something feels off or one of us starts to feel resentful about something that's perceived, we bring it up right then and have that discussion and clear that topic as soon as possible.
That's great. Yeah, it's so ideal. You know, at Hera Hub, of course, we meet lots and lots of women who are starting their business, and it's for a lot of folks that I talk to, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this on my own, or maybe they have been doing it on their own for a number of years, and they, you know, they're tired of that grind of everything falling on them, and looking, you know, starting to think about bringing in a partner on the business. So I appreciate your advice, because we know it's not easy, and statistically, you know, the numbers don't look fantastic. So it sounds like communication and really having that understanding from the get-go of how you're going to handle things and how you're going to bring it to the table has made it work over these last 10 years. So with that,
yeah, well,
sorry.
Let me just say we are just so thrilled to hit our 10-year mark this coming April, because we've seen those statistics and to have gotten this far. And we are so much stronger together as a partnership than either one of us would be individually, because we bring different strengths to the partnership, to the business, and to our clients. And there is no way I would have started a business without Sue.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So, Lynn, I want to get into the nuts and bolts of the business. Who do you serve and what do you do?
We serve primarily small and medium business, and we can have the most impact clients between $5 million and $100 million gross annual revenue. Any industry. We do a lot of work in distributors and manufacturing and in technology, but we're industry agnostic. It's so fun to tackle a new industry. And we primarily offer fractional chief marketing officers, marketing managers, and coordinators for companies that they don't have that in-house expertise, and they might not need that level of expertise, particularly the more senior chief marketing officer, vice president of marketing, until they start to hit that 70 million mark and higher.
Yeah, makes sense. And I would imagine when a company is maybe acquired another firm, or they're doing a product launch or something of that nature, they're going to need some really great guidance in rollout of products or things of that nature. Is that an area that you come in on?
Sure. When companies, like you said, either they acquire or they're launching into a new market or with a new product, those are all great opportunities to bring us in. We also get a lot of work from clients, companies who have made it to a certain level. You know, they might have made it to 20 or 30 million, and then their CEO coach or their Vistage chair says, hey, you need to focus your marketing strategically. You're just out there executing tactics, and you're not using marketing to drive the business like you could. So those are great conversations for us to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, marketing is changing so quickly. I mean, it really is. And I know that some of the digital technology that's changing extremely quickly isn't a tool that every company is going to use, depending on their market and their customers. What are some of the biggest changes or trends that you've seen in marketing over the last 10 years?
Oh, do you have a couple hours?
I bet.
It's been crazy. Some of the most exciting things are the entire marketing to sales funnel. You know, marketing actually drives leads deeper into the funnel than they did even 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
By the time the lead gets to sales, they pretty much just need to close it. Because
and explain
especially
that. Yeah, explain what you mean by that.
So B2B customers particularly, there's some statistics on it. I want to say it's something like 85% do all their research before they reach out.
Mm.
So they've already gone through awareness, consideration, research, comparison before they call. They've pretty much decided between, either they're going with you or they've narrowed it down to two. So the opportunity for marketing to bring that lead in via whatever tactic, content marketing, social media, search engine marketing, etc., and help them choose, make them aware, help them choose to learn more, and then choose to compare the potential company with another one. Marketing can do so much to drive a customer through that customer journey, such that by the time they get sales, they're pretty much ready to close the deal. When, even 5 years ago, sales was more involved higher up in the funnel, right? They were involved in the consideration phase. But now with all the digital tools, we can push people further down the funnel so sales can be more efficient.
Yeah, no, that's really, really interesting. Thank you for mentioning that, because I've been out of that game for a while, and I can totally see what you're talking about related to just that there's so much knowledge out there, right? And companies are cranking out content. They're these tools, conversational marketing tools, these chat bots on websites, there's so much out there. Have you seen in some of the clients that you've worked with, the sales team get a little defensive of this?
Typically, they start a little defensive,
mm-hmm.
but when it's easier and faster for them to close the sale and they earn their commission more rapidly, then it starts to turn around. And one of the things we really work for in our clients is that sales and marketing are a tightly oiled machine, right? The marketing's driving leads. They're pushing leads through the funnel. By the time it's a marketing qualified lead and goes to sales, we want to shorten their sales cycle for them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see where they would quickly see the benefits of the work that you're doing for them. Understand. So maybe pick one of your favorite projects over the last couple years, favorite companies you worked with, maybe a bit of a case study if you're willing to share.
Sure. Just this past year, we wrapped up a 2-year engagement with about a $55 million manufacturing company. And they did not have an internal marketing department. All they had was a brand agency. And they had a 40-person across the United States sales force, but no leads. They had a 2-tier distribution, channel sales system. And we worked for 2 years setting strategy, helping hire the internal marketing team as time came up, building the lead funnel, working with sales to solve some of their challenges, repositioning, bringing in a brand agency to reposition them against the competition. It's just super fun. And we did end up with 5 full-time marketing department inside. And the last piece of work that we did was helping them with bringing in a new VP to replace ourselves, the last person in the engagement. And we work with clients, recruiting firms and HR firms, because we can interview for marketing shops. Yep. And then the HR and recruiting firms can interview for fit within the company. So typically when we do that, they end up with really solid solid team. So that was a lot of fun. We also put, they had 1,600 SKUs, product ordering units, and no product manager. So we also put product management in that marketing department as well. So that was a lot of fun. And one of the things that I've really enjoyed the last couple of years is we've got several clients right now who have hired junior marketers, marketing coordinators, and I have personally so enjoyed growing and mentoring these young marketers so they can be better assets for their companies, as well as promote, as I was promoted up through, a marketing organization.
That's great. I love to hear that. Well, Lynn, what is on the horizon in the upcoming year or so for Upstart Group?
Well, we just finished our 2020 business planning, and we flew our employees down and hunkered down with a beautiful view in sunny Oceanside, California a couple of weeks ago, and locked ourselves there for 3 days and hashed out our plans for 2020, which every business should do every year, so you know where you're going, what will make your business more valuable on December 31 than it was on January 1. So we've got several big initiatives to provide better support and structure and reporting for our clients, as well as opportunity within the next 3 years to grow Upstart Group in different markets. Right now, we have staff in the San Diego area and the Seattle area. We do have some contract employees elsewhere, but really looking to expand into other markets such as San Francisco.
Great. Yeah, a lot of tech, a lot of things happening there, a lot of startups growing quickly. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lynn, if our listeners want to learn more, get in touch with you, what is the best way for them to do that?
Just go to upstartgroup.com, and our phone numbers are there, as well as our contact form.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Selena, thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for joining this week's episode of Flight Club, sponsored by Hera Hub. We look forward to sharing more success stories with you soon.